What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads. I'm your brother, big brother, boss, aka the Funky Monk, and with me is the producer, Token Tony. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Hey,
Yeah,
not too
sorry Miss
much.
Candy couldn't make it.
Yes. Miss Candy couldn't make it tonight. She sends her love, and most definitely, we will catch her next week. Go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. What are you smoking tonight? Go ahead and grab your blunts and share this out to your friends. Oh man, just started getting the damn allergy things, man. So please,
So this will be a fun show.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. That it is. That it is. Oh man, let me go ahead and share this out to my people. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Let's go ahead, as we always do. Let's go ahead and blaze up.
All day.
Oh man, cheers.
Best part of the day is being able to unwind a little bit and blazing.
Yeah, it is. All right, y'all in the comments, let us know what you are smoking. Excuse me. Tonight I am smoking on Trop Cherry or Tropicana Cherry. It is a sativa. I am going to say it is one of the pure sativas. They might have it listed as a hybrid, but it is very sativa leaning. This strain, to me, it affects me similar to Jack Herrera, to where it is a functional high. So if you want to get high and still be able to function like you're at work or you're hanging out with friends, you're doing the thing. This doesn't keep your head foggy, but it does give you that euphoric feeling that relaxes you. And let's just say it sort of relieves your anxiety. So, but this is a perfect daytime strain. It's all head high without making you foggy. It still allows you to think. Whereas sometimes, like I said, that's just me. It allows me to think a little better, or not better, but without all the highness and what I would call the attention deficit that sometimes weed causes.
Mm.
So just really, it's just a perfect daytime strain. I gave it 4.5 blunts. Um, One of the downsides of it is it does make you very, very cotton mouth. It makes me very thirsty. I drink a lot as it is, but cotton mouth on this is very, very, uh, very heavy on this one. The paranoia, no, all the other stuff. It's a very good strain, especially for beginners. Um, Beginners, I would say mid, because sometimes a beginner may not feel anything because what it does for me is it just puts me in a state of relax. I know I'm high because I feel it in my head, but it also sometimes gives you that feeling like I'm coming off of a high. Now, if y'all understand, I know you probably understand that too, Tony. You
Oh
start
yeah.
coming down from a high, you can still feel your high, but it almost feels like you want to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it feels like you're coming down, but you don't feel that urge to smoke because you kind of still know you're high. So your mileage may vary, y'all. So, but to me, it's a very functional high. Um, I can do things. I can do math equations and shit like that. I can have very good conversations with. I gave it 4.5 blunts, just so y'all know that cottonmouth will get you. What are you smoking on, Tony?
Uh, well, honestly, I gotta be honest. I don't even know what the fuck I'm smoking on. I just know that it's
Okay.
weed and it gets me fucking high. Basically, I bought some weed from the dispensary over there off Decatur and Hacienda.
Okay.
But while working, I inquired a few more nugs for my, performance, I should say, as a bonus. So I just
Hmm.
kind of threw it all in there, and whatever I get is whatever I get. I don't really give
Okay.
a shit.
I get
to be honest. But the one that I know for a fact is from the dispensary.
uh,
I cannot remember the name of it, but I can tell you right now that one is very good. I give it straight up 5 bloods. I do
yeah,
know that it is a sativa. I'm more of a sativa guy. I like my indica when I really want to unwind or if I'm really stressed for a day. But for the most part, I like sativa because it keeps me on my game because I'm constantly 24/7 working, as you know.
yeah.
So, for the sativa, I believe this one was from Redwood Farms, something like that. But it came out really good. I'll just tell you right now. If you get anything from theirs, it doesn't come in a jar like the one that I got from Kine here, but it
Uh-huh.
comes in a bag and 5 blocks
Yeah.
straight up.
All right. Right on. Right on. Y'all let us know in the comments what you're smoking, where you're watching from. And we're going to get into our strain of the week. Now, when I was out in the streets last week doing my same thing, doing what I do, I noticed that a lot of the vendors I was coming across had a strain called Zope. And that's basically soap, spelled like soap with a Z. It is a hybrid. And when I was looking up information on it, I didn't see much information that about it. It's still a new strain. They did say it was an award-winning strain, and they tried to pawn it off as a sativa, but in my opinion, it does lean more. It's more balanced as a 50-50. It will get you high. It does relax you. Now, if you're a new smoker to a medium range smoker or just a casual smoker, it may make you tired. It may make you sleepy. Me, it did relax me very well for me to sit down and watch a movie. Other nights when I was tired, it put me to sleep. I'll give a review on it next week. Um, um, a full review on it or a review on it after I've actually sat and got high with it, like I do the other strains that I smoke when I do a review on the show here. But Zope is a very good hybrid. Zope should be available at most dispensaries because it is a very quick growing and just a real common strain. It's easy to grow. It grows fairly quickly. Um, as with the Trop Cherry, also you can find that at your local dispensaries. It's normally in the low to mid range. Um, do not sleep on the Trop Cherry. It is actually pretty good. It's very purple. Um, I wish I had a nug of it, but I will. We will get to taking pictures of nugs because it was a very purple nug. It was a
Nice.
beautiful piece. It was a beautiful piece of flower. Now, man, all right. Let me give me a second, y'all. My nose is getting a little stuffy here. All right. There we go. Um, but let's get into it, y'all. Let's really get into it today. Um, First, I'm gonna start with my Gen X thoughts. And recently in social media, a lot of the younger generations, and I would say millennials and Gen Zers, are really coming for us Gen Xers. And it's kind of funny. And they
kind
say we
of.
don't do things. They say we're apathetic. They really are saying things to the point to where they're blaming us for their shortcomings. Because a lot of us, a lot of Gen Z or a lot of Gen Xers have raised some of the younger millennials and definitely a lot of the Gen Zers. And what's come up, the topic that has come up is like, I'm 50 years old. The oldest Gen Zers, which is 1980, they're just now coming into, they're just now coming into their 40s. They're in their early 40s.
Air
They
Force.
still do things like hang out at the club. They still do things like go to concerts for popular artists or even just older artists. And you know, the millennials gatekeep the 90s like they could actually remember what was going on in the 90s, other than the music and the TV and the pop culture that's going on. But they don't understand that there were other generations in the 90s too. more likely Gen Xers. I believe Gen X is what made the '90s the '90s. All these people, all these motherfucking people who are that they attribute to the '90s, Dr. Dre, Mariah Carey, Donnell Jones, all these old R&B groups. Them are millennials' age. Y'all know that, right? I just really need y'all to know that. These guys are in their 50s. Some of them are even pushing 60. I think Dr. Dre is 60. I don't know for sure, but a lot of these rappers are well into their 50s, and that's Gen X, people. That's Gen X. But one of the big terms that came up was the thing about watching kids. And we didn't ask to be grandparents in this world. It's a very non-consensual thing to be grandparents. But I can tell you from what I know of Tony and myself, we sort of embraced it. But we don't,
Yeah.
we do, but we've raised our children or still raising our children. But we've raised our children. It's not for you. If we want to go out to the club, you shouldn't judge. You shouldn't say we're poor parents or poor grandparents because we don't want to help you out on certain nights. We like to do things on Friday and Saturday nights too.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't sit at home. You can't have this picture of some granny at home knitting and shit while the kids are on the floor running around, playing TV. Let's be one thing clear. Gen X is the great generation. I'm gonna put it just like that. You know what I mean? And we don't have to watch your fucking kids. Nope. We don't. You know what I mean? Every day, I feel I want to sit there and buy my little grandkid whatever the fuck he want. I think I want to get him some drums so he can run around the house banging on bongo drums. And I can do that. You know what I mean? But you're talking about, grandparents are supposed to take them to the park and do shit while we go out. And then they got on us for leaving our kids. Let me be clear. There are some Gen Xers who will take their kids to their grandparents, and they used to leave for weeks at a time. I get it. Wasn't me, but it happens.
Wasn't the majority of us. Most of us didn't do that.
Yeah.
Most of us didn't have an option. My parents wouldn't watch my kids.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And my mother had things to do too when she was a grandmother. But I didn't put unrealistic expectations on her, people. Sometimes I feel, and this is one thing I can say Gen X might say we made the mistake is we raised you entitled motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We raised you entitled motherfuckers. And I get it, y'all. I get it. But one thing we also learned as being Gen Xers is personal responsibility. Because we were told from an early age, we had to be big people. We had to be big. We say, it was always, you're a big boy. At 5 years old, y'all, I could take the public bus to and from school. My school was across town. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I knew how to come home and let myself in. We all had this key on a chain or on a piece of leather around our necks. And that motherfucker stayed on us like anything.
Hell, like I had everything. Mine on a string.
Yeah. And you couldn't take it off for nothing. If you got caught with it off, that was your ass. And you only had to lose your key once. And then your mama said, now anybody can just get up in my house. I'm like, I got it. It got dropped somewhere random as fuck, mother. I know it did. You know what I mean?
And they'd be like, I got to change all the locks. What are you blowing it out of proportion, Mom? Relax.
Yeah. Just go down to the locksmith. Get a $2 copy of the key made. That's another thing, y'all. Copies of our keys was only about $2 at best. You can normally get your keys done for about $1. Back then, now it costs about $5, $6. You know what I mean?
$10. You want some kind of pattern?
Yeah, you can get it done at a machine in Walmart or Home Depot. Yep. But most definitely, my people, especially my Gen Zers and my millennials, you're of age now. Most millennials are definitely of age. You Gen Zers are coming up. If there's something that we as Gen X parents didn't teach you, that's cool. I get it. I understand. If we as Gen X parents did not teach you Gen Zers and millennials a lot, but I think I need y'all to be resourceful. I think you need to put on your big boy girls and big boy draws and big girl panties, or whatever underwear you prefer to go with this motherfucking disillusion.
Point is, grow the fuck up
and figure it out. Yeah, figure it out. Because there was times where we get out and we lose our keys in the afternoon, and our parents didn't get home until the early evening. We couldn't get into the house. So we had to figure that shit out, which mostly included just running around the neighborhood and playing in the park until our parents came home. And if you were good with your neighbors, you actually went to their house and had lunch and maybe a snack. At some of your friends' house or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying, folks, here is I'm really just saying it's time for y'all to take responsibility. It's time to grow up. You know what I mean? I get that, sometimes things get a little hard, but a lot of the Gen Zers and millennials I know, they're about their life. They're about that life. They're about that business. My daughter, for example, who's a late millennial, she knows how to handle business. And that's what I've taught her. And a lot of Gen Xers my age have taught our children that. You know what I mean?
This goes back to what you said earlier, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you said earlier, where you said that there's a lot of us, we had, raised them the way that they turned out the way they did. We gotta take responsibility for one other thing. There's a lot of us still letting these younger generations get away with things, bringing their kids and pawning them off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we gotta take a little responsibility on that, but not we. You and I don't pull that.
Yeah.
We don't pull that. But some of these Gen Xers, y'all need to step up for reals. Like quit letting these kids walk on you. I'm just saying.
Yes.
If you're gonna be a doormat, can I step in some shit and walk on you myself?
Yeah, exactly. And for those Gen Xers who still need to take responsibility, please go get you some help. And if your kid, and let's put it like this, I'm gonna be real, give your kid 4 good years after they turn 18. You mentor them into this adulthood thing, but because let's be clear, being an adult sometimes is hard. There's no manual to it. We sort of get thrown into adulthood. So I believe that, between the ages of 22, 23, and definitely 25, by the time they're 25, any shortcomings that you as a parent may have come up short on could have either been corrected by you or figured out by them. And like I said, but when it comes to watching your kids, I'm 50 years old. I still like to hang out in the streets. Like I always used to say, the streets is mine. I'm always for the streets, and I'm always going to be out in the streets. So you can't put unrealistic expectations on your parents about being grandparents, because it's something that, once again, like being an adult, we is just sort of thrown into it. And me, personally, since I've raised all my kids and did all the good shit, I would personally, with grandkids, spoil the fuck out of them because I can. If I want to buy them something, I can. And sometimes I want to buy the loudest toy I can find at the store. Send them home to their parents. But I want to be instrumental in helping to raise your child, but I don't want to raise your child. I don't want to feel like I don't want you to feel like I'm obligated to take care of your child because you want to run to the club that night, or you want to run to the club every night. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've raised my kids, and we're great. This is Gen X. Like I said, Gen X is the greatest generation, okay? And we don't have to watch your fucking kids. Like we say, I'm not my mama. We sit at home. People like to sit at home and they want to fucking, they think we sit at home. Like I said, they think we sit at home knitting or grandpa is out in the damn garage whittling wood and shit. No, that's not what I do. Anybody who knows me, I sit up and watch porn and TikTok videos all day. Not something you imagine your granddad doing, because my granddad, he sat down in his car drinking and listening to San Francisco Giants games. You know what I mean? Listening to baseball games. Not what I do. I sit up here and watch messy TV, or I'm reading something. Like, yeah, I still read the news. I don't have a physical newspaper, but I still read the news. Don't get me wrong. I still read the news, y'all. But we, as Gen Xers, ain't got to watch your fucking kids. We don't have to be responsible for your shortcomings, even if we were the source of your shortcomings. I wasn't the perfect.
No. They, like you said, they got to take responsibility. We ain't the source of shit.
Yeah. I wasn't the perfect dad. I can tell you that right now. I wasn't the perfect dad. But I will let you know that I recognize that, because that's my issue. That was my shortcoming. Your shortcoming is your shortcoming. And all I can do, like I've taught my daughter, is take responsibility and figure this shit out. Parenting is very difficult, y'all. There's no, oh, I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sitting up here doing that shit. I'm sorry. My bad. Parenting is hard. Just like adulthood, there is no manual for this. So we got to do this shit the best we can. And at 50 years old, my girl is 51. Folks, we're tired. We just want to live our best life. All I want to do is smoke, look at titties on the internet, and live the best life. You know what I mean?
I almost want to do the same thing. I look at the ass. I like ass. Titties are nice, but I like ass.
All right. And let me welcome our folks in. I seen Courtney come in. What's up, Tanae? What's up, David? What's up, Bunny? Thank you for joining us tonight. Where are you watching us from? What are you smoking on? And David said, I have 3 granddaughters, and my daughter stay calling me to babysit. I tell her all the time, shit, I'm running the streets too. You know what I mean? We run the streets. And that's what we do, people. And we're one of the generations, because we were raised in the streets, okay? You know, y'all don't, some of y'all kids don't know what it's like that on a Saturday morning. You had 2 options. After you cleaned your room, you can stay and help clean the rest of the house, or you can disappear until the street lights come on. A lot of us chose to disappear until the street lights come on. You know what I mean? You wouldn't see me for hours. And after certain times, it'd be days. Because if we had a relative that lived in the neighborhood, shit, you wouldn't see us for the weekend, because we used to be staying at our aunt's house, our uncle's house, whatever the case, our cousin's house. So definitely, y'all, get it together, Gen Z and millennials. Get it together. I understand life is hard. I understand these things are difficult, but I'm gonna be clear. Everybody had it hard. You know, even though we had fun, growing up was hard, because we did have to raise ourselves. Our parents weren't around. And that's nothing on our parents, because we were in a time where the economy started flipping to the way it is now. That's when things started getting to the point to where inflation was growing higher than wages. So we understand, y'all. We understand what it's like. We can't say, I can't claim your experience. I can't say the claim I know your experience, but we all have our own struggles, y'all. It's our responsibility to do what we need to do to get through this thing called life. And before I get on to my next thing, y'all, something did come across my news feed late in the day. I do know that Yevgeny Prashenko, I believe that's his name. He's the Russian leader of the Wagner group. It's a group of mercenaries in Russia. If y'all remember, there was a quick, I wouldn't even call it a coup. It was a quick coup attempt where Yevgeny moved on Russia, and before he moved on Moscow.
Take a minute to clear your throat.
Yeah, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I'm gonna let me get out of here for a second, Tom. Give me a second, man.
So I know the one that you're talking about. It did come across my desktop as well late in the afternoon. Like he said, he was a mercenary leader. They were in Russia. Apparently, I forget how many kilometers, whatever, north of Moscow, the plane had crashed. Now, the only thing that I'm wondering is what I've been told, or what I read, was the fact that no one's been able to confirm he was on that plane, but they are claiming he was a passenger on the plane that went down. I'm still learning more about it, so guess we can just wait for Monk to come back on here. And the way that I see it, though, unless you have DNA proof, there's no point is to saying the fact that he was in that plane. We don't know that. So let the conspiracy theorists say whatever they want. I'm waiting for the proof. Once you got the proof, then we can talk.
Exactly. Exactly. And that was my thing, because I sit back in the conspiracy theorists came out in me, like you just said, Tony, and it was like, they said he was on that plane. And if he was on that plane, I get it. But y'all guys, y'all secret agencies, y'all not even getting creative with the shit no more. Y'all gonna say, yeah, there was a plane crash. And then next thing you know, on TikTok and other things, there's a video of what we see is a surface-to-air missile hitting the plane and the plane going down. I can't confirm whether that was this plane or not, because there's a lot of AI stuff out there, but it wouldn't surprise me. This man was not liked by either side, and if the Russians took him out, the rest of the world probably would not give a fuck.
Probably not.
You know,
so that's what it begs the question: what are they trying to distract us from? That's my question. Because they're making it all over the news. It's like, look, if nobody gives a fuck about this dude, then why are we even talking about him?
Exactly. And, that's just one of the things, y'all. Go ahead and Google that. And like I said, I think his name is Yevgeny Pershenko. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me on this guy's name. I'm getting high, and I'm actually surprised I can remember a Russian name like that. But definitely, y'all, if y'all heard the news about that plane crashing with him on it, as well as other leaders of his mercenary group, let me know. Let us know what you feel in the comments. Also, let us know where you're watching from, what you're smoking, and what you're drinking on tonight. My next thing, y'all, and I'm gonna ask y'all this.
Hey, hold up. I just want to put this up there real quick. Hold on, not that.
I got you.
Yeah, because I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, but just so everybody can see it. Yeah, that's the guy we're talking about.
Okay, so I had it up a little bit.
I mean, you did better than what I won't even try, because I already know that I'm gonna mess that up.
David Keith is smoking guava runts today. That is a good strain, because anything with guava in it is going to be nice, balanced, and then the runts is going to come in with that body high. Most definitely, that is a good thing. Yeah, but his name is Yevgeny Prigozhin. And I thought I was pretty good with that. So definitely, y'all.
Yeah, you did better than me.
My next question to you folks now, it is 2023. And in the comments, let me know some of the scams that you've seen in the past. Whether you are a victim of it or you've seen it. The thing is here, what I'm getting at here, y'all, it is 2023. Why are we still getting scammed? Why are people still falling for the okie doke? You know what I mean? Why are people falling for the okie doke? I am in several business giveaway groups, free stuff groups here on Facebook, Instagram, and almost every day you come against that one person who says something like the one I saw this morning. I got a job that pays $45 an hour. Type interested. And then you get it and you get to this place and they want you to pay for your background check. They want you to pay for your computer equipment, your phone equipment, and they want you to do all that shit and they want you to send it to them. And then when you get the job, they'll give it back to you on your first check. All right. And a telltale sign, y'all, and I will tell you this because when they sent the link to me, because I don't fall for the scams, I just want to see how they do it. Oh, they say, oh, go to this website. If the website starts off Google Docs and then some more shit, that's not a link, y'all. That is them collecting information from you on a document, and you're about to give them all of your information. And like I said, in 2023, y'all, if it's online and it sounds too good to be true, it is, people. And let me give you an example. I want to say this happened maybe when I was when I was real new to just really getting into this internet thing. I wanted a nice camera, and I seen this nice camera, and it looked cool, and I knew part of me was like, there is no way I'm going to get this $500 camera for $150. But the site looked legit, everything looked the same, everything looked good, and I got scammed. $150 plus tax down the drain, y'all. And I felt the way. But like I always said, if it is too good to be true, then it is. You know what I mean? There's no way you're going to get a $500 piece of equipment for $150 unless it's on the streets in a pawn shop. And make sure y'all guys can verify it. But what are some of the scams you've heard about, Tony? And you know, you do this stuff because you design websites, you do security. What are some of the things you've seen?
Okay, so aside of doing websites, which we'll start from A to Z here. So websites, they can be hard to know who's a scam and who's not, because a person who's willing to pay a web designer the right money, and when I say the right money, I'm not saying like under the table or anything sneaky. They're paying the right money for a web designer that will give them a good website. A good website is always going to come with everything you're going to fall for, like you did in the one that you did. You know, it's going to look legit. So the thing is, websites, it's hard to tell, to be honest. For one, check and see where the SSL certificate is coming from. Check and see if there's a green lock or, you know, the lock symbol on the upper left-hand or in the far left-hand corner of the address bar. If it has a green lock, at least it's a secure site. This means that anything that you do on there is secured. They can't see all of your personal information other than what they need for billing or shipping. They can't see the actual card information. They can't see nothing. See how their payment gateway is. Does it go to a reputable bank, or does it at least process right there on the site? Because if it does, then 9 out of 10 chance you're going to be safe and fine. Because as long as there's that SSL and the right programs, bottom line is they're not going to see anything. That's when you know you can trust that site. Now, as far as some of the things that I've heard, besides doing security and stuff, you know that I also worked at Bank of America's fraud department. I had to do claims and all that. So my whole thing was, I seen some of the weirdest and dumbest charges come in that people fell for, and all I could think to myself was, you really fell for that. So, but one of the things that I really did not like hearing was that there were people that were coming to us, and what had happened during the pandemic, you know how everybody was filing for unemployment. Well, these people came and they were like, well, I didn't do all this. I was like, what do you mean you didn't do all this? They were like, well, I never got my card, and it was my brother or my friend or somebody who
Yeah.
did it for me. And I'm like, wait, what? So I
Mm-hmm.
explained to them what they basically did, and I asked them, "Is this your email address?" And I would tell them the email address on file. They would say that's not theirs. I'm like, so you let some dipshit do your paperwork and thought that was going to be absolutely okay. That's wonderful. Like, why would you even fall for that scam? Like, I love my family to death and everything, but if it's not me or my wife, nobody else is doing it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And
So,
also, y'all, if y'all, even if y'all click, trust me, and one of the biggest scams also is that the social media companies give a fuck. Because I can tell you that ad I saw came up on my Facebook feed. You know what I
hmm
mean? And so you got to be careful. Even if you check, like Tony said, you check the SSL certificate and see things like that. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it.
yeah,
Um,
don't.
one of the things, excuse me, one of the things I do, if I don't feel comfortable, I'll try to go to a legitimate site and get it. You know what I mean? Um, I'm always looking out for a good deal, but if it doesn't feel right to me, I'm not gonna do it. And did you know, Tony, that people are still falling for the um I got a $50,000 check that I can't cash? Pretty much the Nigerian print scheme. There's still people say, look, send me this, and I'm going to go ahead and send you this check. Once it's deposited in your account, keep this much, send me this much. Now, what's up, Miss Candy? How you doing tonight? Um, Me myself, I'd be like, so what if you just give me the money anyway, and I don't send you shit? I mean, what can you do? What are you gonna do? I don't like the whole thing about I don't like the whole thing about saying, hey, I'm gonna send you 5K. You send me back this much. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna send you back. I think I'm gonna keep the whole 5K. You know what I mean? Um,
right.
and one thing you did put here, Tony. Um,
I was going to bring it up real quick while you were talking
Go ahead.
about
Go
what
ahead.
can you do. When I work at the claims department, here's the thing: you call your bank, and we'll process a claim for you, as long as everything checks out and you're not trying to scam us, because we
Yes.
have things in placement for that to know if your stuff is real or not. Like if you have a valid claim, as long as we know you're not scamming us, we'll grant you what's called provisionary credits, which means that you will get those credits, and as long as the claim checks out and we're going after the scammer, you
Yeah.
get to keep those credits. So you got your money back right after you file a claim. So file a claim with your bank. But do me a favor, don't yell at us. We ain't the one that took your goddamn money.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
because you're going to yell at us, I can promise you your shit's not going to appear any faster. It really is not. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm just going to flat out say because I don't have any obligations to get my ass in trouble for this. But I want to
Uh-huh.
be honest. And there might be some people who disagree with what I'm about to say. But when you call me, I get that you're having a bad day. I used to be the guy that would yell
Hmm.
at reps, and I was an asshole too. But I want to tell you
Hmm.
right now, you yell at us. I was the only guy at Bank of America that got away with this every fucking time. I would hang up on your ass. I didn't give a fuck. And guess what? My supervisors, they tried to give a fuck. It didn't work out for them. And I kept my
Hmm.
job. And I would be the only rep that did not have to be a supervisor in order to hang up on your ass. I can promise
Yeah.
you, if you think that you're gonna get away with just yelling at a rep and then being nice to the supervisor, check your shit because there's other people like me out there.
Yes.
And that's a
Yes. Most.
long wait on that fucking phone call.
Uh-huh. And most definitely, y'all, be kind to the people when you do get scammed and you're trying to get your money back. Those people are trying to help you.
Right.
And so be like Tony said, be patient with them. Um, and be understanding that back in the day, they held up their hand and said that's on you, and still some places say that's on you. The biggest scam, I mean, one of the most popular scams I see coming on right now is the cash out, the Cash App scam, where somebody says they want to send you some money, and they'll say something like, when you get it, take a screenshot of your Cash App so to make sure I have it right. And in that, y'all give them your Cash App and your phone number, sometimes your email address, and you've just given them enough information to spoof your account, to get in and take over your Cash App. So all I'm saying, friends, it's 2023, and I'm gonna need y'all to really be more vigilant when it comes to seeing things online. If it is too good to be true, don't do it. What you do if you are scammed and money disappears from your account, file a claim with your bank. And let your bank know immediately. Don't sit up there and say, okay, it's going to come back or it's just this. Contact your bank immediately, folks, and open a claim. But in the long run, y'all, if it's too good to be true and you don't feel right, it probably is, and don't do it. So just take our advice from it. Take our advice for it. I've been scammed before, but now I see them. You know, in the early days of the internet, getting scammed was very easy. Because a lot of, they had SSL certificates, but they were few and far between, and it took a lot to get one. So most definitely, y'all, if you get scammed, contact your bank immediately. What my girl does, my girl sees something and she'll come to me or she'll send me the link, and I'll be like, yeah, that don't look like a legitimate site. Even myself, I love graphic t-shirts. I love wearing graphic t-shirts. So if I'm online and I see a t-shirt and I like it and it's on a website, on Facebook, I'm very, very cautious and suspicious. What I like to do is I'll just do a quick Google search. And all you have to do, like Tony said, I think Tony said earlier, put in the company's name and put review.
But read all those reviews and look at the date. If they look like they're the same review around the same date, that's somebody being paid to do it.
Exactly. So look at the reviews, all the reviews, and see where you stand with them, y'all. And if you feel comfortable, do it. If not, move on.
There is one more tip I would like to throw in.
Go ahead.
So the one more tip: if you get an email and it says Amazon this or that and the other, do a drop down underneath those titles. You'll see a drop down, like a little grayed out area, but it has a drop down. You drop it down, it'll tell you the email it comes from. So if it doesn't come from Amazon.com and it says so and so at Google, it's not real. Don't
exactly. That's the number one thing too.
Do not
I get them sometimes. I get them a lot, really. They say, "Hey, you won," or "Hey, we want to send you a $5 certificate for this." Always check where it came from. Anybody from Amazon is not going to send you something from a Gmail address.
Nope.
Also, I just learned this last week. You can actually register with Google or Gmail different variations of your email. So say, for example, you went to the supermarket, which is Smith's. You can put like, you can put something like, I'll say funkymonk.smiths at gmail.com. And Gmail will bring that to me because they know I made that email address and put that email address in. So if you get that scam into your email, you can see where it came from and who they sent it to. and that'll tell you who sold your information, either who sold your information, even though you told them not to. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. When you find it out, isn't it like $5,000 per offense?
That's a little bit more than 5,000. I believe it starts out at 10,000. I could be wrong
Okay.
about that. And no, I never had to deal with that because I always also make sure all my sites come with I can spam compliance. So
Yeah.
that gives me that every optional way to avoid being considered spam is
Uh-huh.
put in place. So if we
Yeah.
contacted you one way or the other, either you did give consent from a third party company because we won't deal with anybody less,
Uh-huh.
and a good one that are in
Mhm.
compliance as well. Uh,
Okay.
and then basically all that stuff has been completely secured. Like I don't play games when I do my site, so I've
Right.
never dealt with it, so I never had notifying.
Okay. So y'all, once again, be careful, be vigilant. In the comments, let us know if you've been scammed. Let us know some of the scams you've seen run on you, or that you've seen on the internet, or just in life running around. Let us know. Now, y'all, before we get to our review part here, I do want to introduce a new segment that I will be working on, where I'll be creating content, um, mostly food and snacks, but I will review products at times and things like that. It is called Monkey Bites, and Monkey Bites is coming soon. It will be reviews that you won't see here. So the only time you'll see Monkey Bites is either on my personal TikTok page, or the Aging Potheads website, or our Facebook page. That's the only places you'll see it. Things I review on Monkey Bites will maybe sometimes be an extended review of what I've already reviewed on the show, as well as other things. So if you guys, once that drops, I'm gonna let you know there's a new episode of Monkey Bites up on the show, and y'all run over to our website and check it out. With that being said, y'all, this week I got to watch a lot of movies. So in the coming weeks, you'll see me go through go through a lot of movies. A lot of these movies are already online. They've probably been on for years. This week, y'all, I actually sat down on Amazon Prime, and I saw a movie. I watched a movie, and it was called Black is Night. It's on Amazon Prime. I believe it came out in 2019. Don't quote me on that, but it's called Black is Night, and it is basically a vampire tale based in Louisiana. And we have a young girl who is coming into herself. She's in high school. They're really ambiguous about what year it was. I would only assume they were, in high school. I can only make that assumption. And her and her friends run into a coven of vampires. I don't know what they call a group of vampires, whatever it is. Spoiler alert, y'all. Most definitely. Um, but the story is good. It's entertaining. And let's be clear. Don't come into this thinking this is like a blockbuster production. It is good acting. Its script is good. Visuals is good. Not the best, like I said. I gave it 3.5 blunts because the storyline was good, the twist was good, and it was a different take on vampires that I thought was very good without telling the story, y'all. But most definitely, check it out. It's called Black is Night on Prime Video. It's 3.5 stars. Okay. What was you watching, Tony?
uh, so I've been watching my wife's porn. Did you want to hear about my favorite scene?
Please let me know.
Really, I'll be happy to describe it. It was a very interesting scene. I wasn't in it, but
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe we might wanna hold that off now.
All right, fine. We'll talk about the show I'm watching on Netflix. So I'm
Okay.
watching the new episodes of the Upshaws.
Was it season 4 or 5 now?
Season 4, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, and So far, I'm only a couple episodes in, but I did give it 5 blunts because I do find it to be just as good as all the other previous seasons.
Uh-huh.
This season though, there's quite a bit of change because I don't know. Have you been watching that show?
I'm still I just like started season 3 and I've been sort of just meandering through it. Whenever I see it, I watch it.
Okay,
Um
so just to kind of spoil it a little bit, at the end of season 3, the wife, I forget her name, she ended up leaving the house. Like she kind
uh
of semi ran away.
yeah,
And this season, it starts out with them trying to repair that and have her move back into the house. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it's been a really good, no season so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to watching it. Hopefully, the coming weekend, I can binge watch the rest of it and be done.
Yes. And Upshaws, y'all, the Upshaws is one of those hidden gems on Netflix. Um it's got 4 seasons. So most definitely if you watch the first season, you'd be like, wow, this is on Netflix. It is very
Hmm.
well done. So, in the comments, let us know what you're watching. If you've actually seen Blackest Night or the Upshaws, let us know what you think about it. If there's something you did watch, let us know what you're watching, y'all. Let us know what you're watching. That way, folks who with us can watch it, and me myself, I can watch because I love watching movies. I love watching TV shows. Um, so most definitely, y'all, let us know what you're watching. Let us know what you think about these movies. So go out and watch them. So you have the Upshaws on Netflix, as well as Blackest Night on Prime Video. Now, we get to the munchies part of it, y'all. And once again, like I said, Monkey Bites is coming soon. Well, actually, most of the time we'll be on location at these restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants that I discovered about 10, 15 years ago is Dupar's Diner. And there used to be one downtown in the Golden Gate. There's also one up at the Suncoast on Alta and Rampart. And Dupar's is the best, y'all. I had a pancakes, turkey sausage, and eggs meal. Um, and I'm gonna tell you, this thing is good. What's not shown is the butter. They give you clarified butter. You know the type of stuff you dip your lobster and stuff in, and you can soak your pancakes in that, and then put a little bit of syrup on it. Man, it is the bomb. Now, if you're looking for a good spot, because they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I haven't had the dinner. My girl has had their pot pies before, and she loves it. But I had the pancake sausage and eggs. You can never go wrong. These are some of the best pancakes I have ever had in my life. Um, and when you pour that butter, I'm a person who likes my pancakes soaked in butter. I love the taste of butter. I can eat them with butter and just a little bit of syrup, and I'm good. I gave Dupar's 5 blunts. I want to say, did I give it 5 or 4.5? I can't remember.
um, four and a
I
half.
gave it, okay, I gave it 4.5. And now I remember that half of it sometimes is a bit pricey. Not a lot, but just a bit for sometimes what you get. But they do have specials. They do have pies. Their pies are very good too. Um, Dupar's is a very good place to go. I used to do it when I used to go back and forth between California and um, Las Vegas. I used to take the train. One of the things I do is I always get there early enough to go to Dupar's in the Golden Gate and have a quick breakfast and then get on the train.
That's
Definitely
what's
one of
up.
the great experiences, y'all. Dupar's at the Sun Coast. Um, Definitely check that out. And what you munching on, Tony?
Well, from the nice food from home, my
Uh
wife made some shit. Not sure exactly what it was, but hey, it's food. I ain't
huh.
complaining.
Yeah.
No, actually, funny story, real quick. That's how I met my wife. She,
Uh huh.
basically when I first came over for the first time for dinner,
Uh
she just kind of slapped a bunch of shit together and made it a meal. I'm like, well, at least
huh.
she's not trying too hard to impress me. She's showing me what I get.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, it's always good for me. I honestly love it, especially when you got the munchies, and it's like it just hits the spot every time. I did give it 4 blunts tonight. The reason why only 4 was, and she knows this, but she also knows I'm trying to diet. So, but I do like, a little more heavier salt, if you will. But nowadays, she keeps it nice and moderate, and I don't add anymore. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, good as always. I think it was kind of like a beef stroganoff.
Okay. I love beef stroganoff. I love beef stroganoff. Oh, that doesn't sound right, huh? Beef stroganoff. Yeah, that
Where are my
doesn't sound
cigarettes?
right.
Oh fuck!
But let us know what your favorite go-to munchie is. Let us know where you're eating here in Vegas or even somewhere else. Vegas is getting a lot of these popular chains that are in the South and the East. I do know we have a Waffle House coming soon to Vegas, as well as a Whataburger.
Oh, just stop that there. You just already done fucked it up. A Waffle House. So this is Vegas. You think the fights in all these other states were bad? We're in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah.
You could probably put that anywhere else in Nevada and be somewhat okay. But here in Vegas, you want to put a Waffle House? Oh
Yeah.
shit! I'm getting the
What?
camcorder. I'm
What?
about to make a TikTok off of just that.
There's a couple of things I don't want to see when it comes to a Waffle House and even a Whataburger in Vegas. Of course, the Whataburger is going to be on the Strip.
Of course.
It's okay, but I wish you would put it somewhere else because I don't want to go to the Strip just to get a fucking Whataburger. Now with Waffle Houses are only good when you can get to the parking lot fast. You know what I mean? You can't just. I don't want to walk through a casino to get to the Waffle House because I think it loses its value when it's inside of a casino. It's the Waffle House, people. Put it on the side of a road somewhere. Put it smack dab in the middle of on a regular street in a regular neighborhood. But definitely, y'all, spread it out. We do know Bojangles Chicken Joint is coming too, and they're talking about dropping 20 locations. And Bojangles is a fried chicken joint, and I believe that's popular in the South.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
I want to try them.
They're pretty good from what I heard. I haven't been there, but I heard they're pretty good. And one thing I also do, I do hope the food translates here. You know what I mean? Waffle House is not the best. Trust me, the Waffle House is made for you just got out. It's a late night. You just finished running the streets, and you just need something to get in your stomach. And everybody who lives where there's a Waffle House, they have their own Waffle House. They have their own Waffle House go-to. So definitely, when you go to a if you go to a Waffle House in the South, definitely know what you want. Don't get on there and say, I know I like a regular breakfast with no meat. And I still get shit for that because first thing they always tell me at Waffle House when I visit a Waffle House is, you don't want any meat? Oh, I don't eat pork. That's not pork. That's bacon. And sometimes they still bring you the bacon. Like the fuck? I don't need meat. If you don't have any alternative meat like turkey or something, I don't want it. And let us know what your go-to munchie is, y'all. Because I love to hear it. Like I said, Monkey Bites is coming up. I will be looking at all the snacks. I follow snacks on TikTok and all the social media. And one thing they don't do is they don't try them. So part of my show is part of my segment will be to try these things that they say are out, and let you know how I feel about them. I will most likely carry the blunt ratings depending on which platform I'm on, but it don't matter. Me and Tony don't care. We're rebels. So most definitely, y'all, we are at the top of the hour. We ran over a little, but we started a little late. And like I always say, I'd rather talk with you than about you. So if you folks need help, please call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 or your local helpline in your area. Most areas do have a helpline for people to get the help they need. And that's just any crisis, whether it be financial, whether you feel like you're overwhelmed. I do know school just started, and a lot of folks are sending their kids back to school, and that can be overwhelming because you got to buy school clothes and things like that. And you're probably feeling away. So most definitely, y'all, we are getting into the fall season. And as the weather gets worse, a lot of our problems and things come out. So if you don't have resources and you feel overwhelmed, make sure you get the help you need. Also, if you are being abused, whether you're a man, woman, or indifference, you make sure you call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233. Also, now Tony's been nagging at us to get this done at the beginning of the show. We do smoke weed on camera because it is legal in our jurisdiction. Your mileage may vary. Please check with your local laws on the on marijuana usage in your area. We do not condone illegal smoking, which means kids under 21, or smoking where in a place where you should not be smoking. And as I always say, please do not smoke and drive or operate heavy machinery. Okay? With that being said,
Uber and Lyft is for.
Exactly. With that being said, thank you for joining us tonight. We had a lot of guests with us, a lot of folks watching, a lot of friends watching. Thank you to Tanae. Thank you to Courtney. Thank you to Bunny. Thank you to David and Miss Candy, who showed up, who will be with us next week. I do thank you for smoking with us. That's my boy Token Tony. I am Big Brother Boss, a.k.a. the Funky Monk. And until next time, y'all, we say meditate and medicate. And as always, my friends, stay lifted. We're the Aging Potheads. We'll catch you next.